Hey everybody, this is Tad Hill. I am your co-host of Retire with Freedom. I am here with my wonderful and talented wife and daughter, Toni and Tyler. Welcome, guys.
Hello, welcome.
All right, we got a good show for everybody today. We're going to talk about knowing where you stand. So in other words, where are you exactly and how do you get to where you want to go? I'm excited about this show because I think we're going to make some cornerstone points, foundational points around retirement planning. It hits right at the heart of everything. Yeah. So let's start with knowing where you stand. So we get this a lot. People call in and they go, I'm not sure if I can retire or not.
Right.
So,
well, everyone wants to know where they stand. I mean, in all aspects of life, kind of like, am I on track? Am I off track? How far away am I? So knowing where you stand is important. And this particular topic is really important because it's where you stand once you're not working anymore. And am I going to be okay?
Yeah. And once the paychecks stop, and it, you know, my experience, and I'm sure y'all feel the same way, it doesn't matter how much money somebody has.
Right.
I mean, they can have millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they still are concerned about running out of money. Yeah. I mean, maybe not everybody, but that's usually what I see.
Right.
And so some of the questions that people need to be answering is, first of all, how much money is actually going out the door today?
Mm-hmm.
And most people think they know that answer,
right?
But they don't. Usually they're off by about 30%.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually talk about this in depth in the Retire with Freedom course that we do.
Mm-hmm.
And we now do that in our new office. We've moved for people that are used to us being on the corner of Valleydale and Caldwell Mill. We were there for 13 years and we've moved about a mile down Valleydale right off of 65. And we have a learning center in our office now. So instead of doing the courses at Jeff State and one of the libraries, we're doing them here in the office, which I think is pretty cool.
We have a good opportunity.
But we go in depth in the course about how to answer all these questions and the details you need to do. But you got to know how much is going out the door. And then you got to decide, so now how much is going out the door now before you quit working? And then what do you want your lifestyle to look like once you stop? How much income are you going to need to sustain it? So like once we figure out Social Security and pensions and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And then what income streams do you have in place to take care of this? Because most people's strategy is just, well, I've got a diversified portfolio of stocks and bonds and I'm just going to pull money out and hope it all works out.
I got a 401k. I mean, it's kind of a basic, just kind of, I've got some things. That's like saying I've got some stuff, but do you really have a plan and do you know how to use all of your stuff, quote unquote? But so like, first of all, a lot of people, sometimes they haven't even really thought deeply and had conversations, if you're a couple, about what does our life look like when we're not working 8-10 hours a day. You know, we're not going away from each other. Are we going to drive each other nuts at home? Are we going to travel? Are we, what's going to happen? What are our hobbies going to be? Who are we going to spend our time with besides just each other? You know, there's a lot of things we want to think about. Are we going to buy some other properties, a beach house, a lake house, a boat, rental properties? I mean, there's all these things, and having a really solid plan around that helps solidify in your own minds how this actually, when you close your eyes, this is how it's going to work. I know where it's going to happen, and that's how it starts. The next question you got to go is, do we have enough money, and how's that going to work? How do we piece the money out and make it work so that we can actually realize that picture that we paint for ourselves? Is it going to come to fruition? Are we going to fall short? Or even if we don't fall short, will we constantly be worried about it? Mm-hmm. Will we always go like, should we do that? Is this okay? Did we spend too much at Christmas? I mean, those things shouldn't be going through your mind if you've got a solid plan in place.
I think really when people come to sit down with us, I see 3 scenarios most of the time. It's either I don't know at all where I am or where I stand. I don't know if I can retire. I don't know if what I'm doing is sustainable. It's like I'm just totally, I'm needing guidance. Or I think I know that I can do this, but normally it's when I start asking questions, it's more based on a feeling, or it's, hey, I know I've at least been doing what I'm supposed to do and saving, but it really just boils down to what are you spending? Because like you said, people can have multiple millions, but still it's dependent on what they're spending. Or there is a scenario where if you're a couple, maybe one of you feels good and says, I know that as long as I'm living, I can help take care of this. But if something were to happen to the person that maybe does know more about the finances and the investing,
Yeah.
They're normally more concerned about, okay, well, what if something happens to me? So I know we could probably navigate this if I'm still alive, but a lot of times, hey, it's the men that have been paying attention to this, and statistics say the women are going to outlive the men, and so a lot of times they're wanting to make sure their spouse is taken care of.
Yeah, and I mean, that's not always the case. I mean, sometimes we have, I've worked with people where the women do all the financial stuff and the men can't be bothered, but typically what you're saying is the case.
So let me say this. We're Tad, Tyler, and Toni Hill, Freedom Financial Group.
If you're just now tuning in.
Yeah, if you're just tuning in, listen. And so there's a lot of ways you can get your questions answered. You can call, text 205-988-0006, 205-988-0006. Come see if where you stand. What's going on? Are you okay? How far off are you? Really understand and wrap your arms around what's going on. So, Tyler, you brought up a bunch of, really good points, and, a little deeper in, that part when people come in and say, I think I have enough. I think I have enough. So some of the questions that we're always asking people is like, okay, you think you've got enough? That's great. Let's get a second opinion. Let's dig a little deeper. So, what's that thought in? Like you said, is that a thought? Is that a feeling? Or are there some facts behind that? We like to see the evidence. Show me how you're going to be okay. Or let me show you. Let's look through this together. Let's look at this together step by step, and let's prove it that we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And then, the other question is, as soon as you turn in the paperwork and you walk away from work, where's that first paycheck coming from? Are you just going to pull money out of your 401k?
Yeah, that's
where is that
plan.
number one? Where's the paycheck start? Where do you step right into, we're fine, and this is just a well-oiled machine? What rate of return do you need? Do you need a rate of, or like what's going on that is going to cause you to have peace of mind and tranquility when you aren't working anymore and your life is sustained? Not just the extras you want to do, but just your common everyday life.
Yeah.
Without eroding your paycheck. I mean, your savings.
Or I think a lot of times people think, oh, I'm in here early because I'm wanting to get a plan before I retire in 5 years. I think a lot of times people think, oh, I don't need a retirement plan until I retire. But really,
that's a great,
get that a lot.
Yeah.
But really, it's, hey, we don't know what's going to happen. You may get laid off. There might be you might be retiring in a kind of an economy or a market situation that isn't favorable. And so a lot of times people do actually, they've done the heavy lifting. They've done the saving. We just need to make sure we structure a plan that can sustain their lifestyle when the paycheck stops. And if you are 10 or less years away from retirement, it's time to start getting those strategies in place, because a lot of times we can build a very solid plan without you having to alter your lifestyle. I mean, because there's really three scenarios. Either what you're doing, how much you're spending, when you want to retire, that works, great, we just build a plan around it. Or really, once we dig in, you know what, I know you want to retire at 62, but really you work until 65 is going to make this thing a lot better. Or, you know what, with the amount y'all have saved, you're spending, maybe we do need to target a lower expense amount, but you'll at least know.
Yeah, and
there's options. If you come in early enough, you'll have more options.
We always have levers we can pull. I mean, there's things we can do. I'll say this, what you just said, Tyler, for you, our listener, the more time you give us, the easier it's going to be on you.
Yeah, the more options and opportunities
if you come in 6 months before you're retiring, we know how to help you.
Yeah, we can still build a plan.
But we don't have the flexibility that we do if you come see us when you got, 7, 8, even 3 or 4 years to work with. That's huge. So don't put this off. And the other thing is, even if you're planning, like you said, Tyler, if you're planning on retiring at 65, there's no guarantee that you're going to, I mean, companies are laying people off all the time, especially the big ones. Yeah. And so I want to, before we wrap up this segment, I want to talk about the third scenario, which is someone feels in their heart, hey, I know I have enough money to retire.
Okay.
So let me talk to y'all. If you've got millions of dollars and you're not concerned about running out of money, then I would ask you a few questions. What are you doing to maximize your tax efficiency? Do you have a long-term care plan in place? Because if you got millions of dollars, most people, you're probably thinking, well, I'll just self-insure. But shifting that risk is a big deal, because nursing homes, by the time people our age are going to be in the nursing home, it's going to be over $100,000 a year.
Yeah,
Oh, easily.
It's
I mean, right now the average is, I think,
80 something.
It's 90.
Oh, is it 90
Yeah.
now? Oh, it's crazy.
and then the other thing is the legacy planning. So if you've got millions of dollars, you're going to be leaving that money to someone, assuming you have children. Do you have a plan in place on how that's going to work? Because I will tell you, that stuff gets complicated.
And the tax efficiency. I mean, some of it half of it could get sent to the IRS instead of to your kids. So, I mean, that's not.
Yeah, there's three people that can inherit your money: your family, a church or charity, and the IRS.
Yeah.
And what most people's plan is going to result in is the IRS is going to be your biggest beneficiary.
Yeah,
that stinks.
Because I think right now tax laws are always changing, but I think a lot of times people are surprised that if today something happens to you and your kids are inheriting your money and it's all in tax deferred accounts, 401ks, IRAs, they have to pay the taxes on that entire inheritance in 10 years.
Yeah, they got to pull it all out of 10 years.
It's not like they can stretch it out. So and they're probably still working, earning a lot, and now it's like,
yeah, they're not getting any
tax
of
bracket.
it. Yeah. Well, the other thing too, I got another.
Let me make this last point about you folks with millions of dollars. The other thing that I see is that you are probably taking way more risk than is necessary. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to use the word too much risk, because that's relative, and it has to do with your stomach for it. But chances are you're taking way more risk than you need to accomplish the things that matter to you. So if you've got millions of dollars, we're looking at healthcare planning, tax planning, and risk management. And those are the things that you may have figured out, but my experience tells me you probably don't. And the way to get that figured out is to give us a call or a text and either come to one of our courses, which is 2.5 hours of a deep dive into all of this, or come visit with us, and we will sit down with you and personally walk you through all of the things that are going on, the things that we think are going well for you, and the things that we think you need to fix. I would strongly encourage you to do both. It probably makes sense to come to the course first, but even if you come in for a visit first, we like you to come to the course, because there's just so much that we cover that we can't do in any other forum. And guys, we're out of time on this one, but listen, if you want to help yourself, make sure you've gotten the most solid plan possible in place. Give us a call or a text, 205-988-0006, 988-0006. If you're in a city other than Birmingham, we have a process that works flawlessly over the computer, over Zoom. We do it all the time. This is Tad, Toni, and Tyler Hill, and we are the co-hosts and co-owners of Retire with Freedom and Freedom Financial Group. So give us a call, 205-988-0006. We hope you all have found this to be fun and maybe a little bit entertaining and hopefully very educational. We've had a great time. We'll see you next time.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Freedom Financial Group. Freedom Financial Group is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through AE Wealth Management LLC, AEWM, a registered investment advisor. AEWM does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Freedom Financial Group are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. Freedom Financial Group is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Freedom Financial Group.